Hello friends, my name is Emile and welcome back to some more Forza Motorsport 2. Today we're continuing on with our Let's Play. This is episode 13 and in today's episode we're going to be taking a look at the race which I said we shouldn't do in the last episode, which is the Sports Car Classic race. Classic sports cars return in the spirit of vintage automotive competition. So of course we need to go ahead and buy ourselves a car for that one. Now, as you would imagine, all the cars for that one are pretty expensive. However, there is one which is relatively cheap, very fast, affordable. I think I'm going to use for this race the 1969 Fairlady Z 432 because it's quite cheap. Or it's about as cheap as a car as you're going to get for this type of racing. Also, let's have it in green. Sure. Now, admittedly, the PT Cruiser, no. The Vauxhall Vectra, no. Anyways, now, you might think I've gone a bit mad. You see, the lead car in this race actually has quite a high PI, i.e. that one's like D37. This car only starts off as D181. However, I should be able to raise this through the PI ranks pretty easily without spending too much money on this. So we are going to start out with putting some tyres on this thing. So let's go ahead and buy them. We're at D523. I do want some more power. Now, drivetrain swap is... I mean, that costs... That gives us the Nissan Silvia engine. Would it be just cheaper to put turbo in? I think it would. Okay, so let's put a turbo in as well. And I also want a slight bit... I wonder how much the rear wing is. The rear wing's £2,500. That would improve stuff as well. How about tyre widths? Okay, yeah, we'll have tyre widths as well then. Okay, so there we go. I've turbocharged it, put some different tyres on it. I'm going to put some different suspension on it as well now that I think about it. So let's go ahead and do that. And I think I might uprate the brakes a bit as well, because it's only 700 to get sports brakes. So let's go ahead and put those on. Okay, there we go. That's my Nissan Fairlady Z432 built up. Now let's see how well it actually competes in the competition. So anyways, Sports Car Classic, we're competing for a 1973 Porsche Carrera RS, which is a very, very cool car, and I very much want that car. So the races, we're going to be heading to the Silverstone National, the Sunset Peninsula Infield Short, and the Maple Valley Raceway Short. Let's head into Silverstone first. Okay, so hopefully my little car that I built up here should be pretty darn good. For some reason the stream audience has dropped off. I don't know if it's just because of all those technical difficulties I was having. Admittedly, they're not particularly interesting to watch when I'm having technical difficulties. Anyways, as you can see, the field is a bunch of very priceless, expensive cars, but my Fairlady is by far and away the highest PI of them all. Now, I could have got away with just using my Lancia Stratos again that I used in the mid-engine challenge, but as you know, I do like to use as many different cars as possible, so yeah. Also, I do have to admit, this Nissan Fairlady Z432, I do like this car actually. It's a kind of cool looking car. Admittedly, I do know it's a rip-off of a Jaguar E-Type and an Alfa Romeo Spider, just sort of smashed into one, but my god, they did a pretty darn good job of it. Yeah, this car really sort of helped make a name for Datsun and also Nissan. And of course, the Fairlady Z gave birth to the Z range of cars, which still continues on to this day with the, for some reason, completely unreplaceable Z34, aka the Nissan 370Z, which for some reason Nissan just can't replace that damn thing. Do you know that car's been in production for like 8 years now? Like, you would have thought Nissan would have updated it at some point. Bear in mind, of course, the 350Z, which was the car previous, was also around for a number of years. However, the 350Z, basically the 370Z was just a 350Z with some slightly different headlights. So, yeah. A little bit of a weird thing there. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the 370Z, it can't be making too much sense for Nissan to continue on that name, considering I can imagine they're not selling quite as many 370Zs anymore, because, you know, they're still trying to charge a lot of money for it, and it's a very old car in a segment which, you know, the sports car class, that's where you're supposed to have constant updates. Then again, the BMW Z4 is exactly the bloody same, so I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Or at least I'm fairly certain the BMW Z4 has remained unchanged for about 7 years now. Mind you, do they even still sell the Z4? I would imagine they do. I'm not sure. Anyways, Fair Lady is a competent-ish handling car, a little bit slidey, which is kind of surprising considering the amount of work I put into the tyres, tyre widths, and so on this vehicle. Then again, I did put a great gaping big turbo in it as well, so I don't know, maybe I should have put the Nissan Fair Lady drivetrain into it. Then again, I do need to sort of save some money, especially for the American Iron runoff, because if I'm not careful, I'm going to end up using a bloody Camaro, which I do not want to go down that route. So hopefully I have enough money for some form of decent muscle car before that. Anyways, as we go around here. Please, no, stop. I will ban. I'm not joking. Anyways. Apparently there's a building there that says Brooklands for some reason. Not quite sure why. Oh, wow, this 3-lap race has gone quickly. I haven't actually really been paying that much attention to it, but apparently we are on the 3rd and final lap. Yeah, it ain't exactly the best handling vehicle I've had so far, but it isn't bad. Again, it's pretty cool looking. Very endearing car. I think I put race suspension on this as well, so at least it's cornering flat. I assume normally this thing would be kind of all over the place with this sliding and all the rest of it, but as it is now, it's not. Unfortunately, just crashed it at the end there. Ooh, we get 6 grand for this. Okay, so this car might pay for itself quicker than I was expecting it to. And we're level 1 with it, which gives us a 10% discount on springs and dampers. And that's available to cars made by Nissan and Toyota. So that could actually be kind of useful. To have uprated springs go down a little bit. Admittedly, it is only a 10% sort of decrease, but it's still worth it. This will be, yeah. I don't understand that. I don't know what to say, so lemons. Indeed, lemons. Lemons are cool. Anyways, this car revs up really slow, and then all of a sudden, like, all the power comes on with the turbo. I think this car is very much sort of turbo-based. Maybe I should have gone for uprated camshafts instead of turbo, but never mind. You're a winner! This isn't London Racer, or Big Rigs. This is Forza Motorsport 2. Oh, sorry, actually, no. I will say London Racer, the only reason I called it Your Winner is because I actually forgot what it says, because it's spelt so horribly. I think it's like, you're the winner of them all, or something like that. Oh, God. London Racer is fantastic, and there's also a French version of that game, which I actually saw Ludo play on stream for me a while back. It was amusing. I think it's called, like, is it Paris Marseille Racer, or something like that. Interesting game. Believe it or not, like, it's actually worse than the London Racer. It is worse because it has less tracks, which is interesting. Don't really know why, but it does, so yeah. Anyways, as we continue on here, we are 5 seconds in front of M. Rossi, who... I can't actually remember what M. Rossi's driving. He's driving a car. London Racer. Indeed, London Racer. Oh, hey, this thing actually has a 5-speed stock. That's actually really impressive for 1969. I will give it that. To be fair, actually, it's not. It handles a lot better when it's actually going 130 miles an hour. I was expecting a few issues for that corner, but apparently none in the Fair Lady Z. Yeah, this is a good car, as it turns out. And like I said, this is by far and away the cheapest way to get into this race, because... yeah, the rest of the cars are extremely expensive, other than maybe the Stratos, actually. The Stratos, if you're going for, like, if you don't care about using the same car a couple of times, then the Stratos is actually a very, very good car to, would be a very good car to use, sorry, when it comes to this sort of racing. However, the Fair Lady, yeah, it just allows me not to use the cars over and over again. I will say the one thing with the Fair Lady is they have a really cool version of the Fair Lady in this game. It has like a black hood and it's orange. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's a very, very cool looking car. I don't want to get my mittens on that at some point. Admittedly, if you play through in the Asian area, you do actually unlock that car for purchase at level 5. I don't know if you actually get gifted one by the game as well. It would make sense if you do, because you get gifted an E-Type if you play through thingy. I'm not quite sure if you play on the US Korea, sort of what car you'd get there. But hopefully we do get some more prize cars. Of course, the one good thing about playing with the European region is the cars that you get are slightly more pricey. And oh, that reminds me actually, one cool thing about Forza 2. Forza 2 is the game before Forza went completely mad when it comes to its prices. So the most expensive car in this game, I believe, is 350,000 credits. And that's for the Le Mans cars. The 250 GTO costs 182,000 credits in this game. What's the worst meme? Dan Daniel. Or actually, These Nuts is also a pretty awful one as well, because it's like, that isn't funny. It's just a slightly mentally incapacitated man saying, "These nuts." It's like, ha, 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 ha. Anyways. Oh god. I was going to try, I thought the finish line was a lot nearer than it was. Let's just hold the handbrake, cross the finish line, there we go. Because why not? Oh yeah, the Stratos is the quickest car, duh. Anyways, we are so close to level 15, and we are level 2 with the Fairlady Z, which means we get a 10% discount on drivetrain and transmission upgrades, which is, or driveline, I believe that was, not drivetrain. Yeah, interesting. Anyways, let's head on to the next and final race, which is the Maple Valley Reverse Circuit. So there we go. Daniel, the more you say it, the more you're just trying to deny it, and you come off as one, buddy. It's just the way it works. I mean, that's just the way it is. Apparently, something's happened on Twitter. Uh-oh, following. Cool. I'll take a follow on Twitter, sure. Anyways, wow, that E-Type actually springs off the... Actually, I just thought I could use the E-Type as well. The E-Type wouldn't be a bad choice for this either. But again, I like going for diversity and interestingness, so I've chosen the Fairlady, goddammit. Hopefully I will have enough money for a decent muscle car at some point, because hopefully in the next episode we'll be doing the American Iron Runoff. If I do not have enough money for a decent muscle car, then we'll be doing the Integra Cup, in case you're wondering about what's going to happen next episode. Also, don't worry, I haven't forgot about the Proving Grounds. There is still 2 races left to do. There's the Flyweight International and the Heavyweight. However, we are still waiting for cars to use that particular one. Also, I like how you go on, when you go on HUD view, you can basically just see like the ears. Or at least that's what I like to think of them as. Like the ears of the Fairlady. That's pretty cute, I guess. Well, hey, it's only 9 o'clock. That's cool. So I can still shove a bunch more events into this stream, which is cool. Yeah, hopefully... Oh, wow, I've just noticed that about the exhaust. That's pretty cool. It's like 2 stacked on top of 1. Or 2 stacked on top of each other, I should say. That's a pretty interesting way to do a dual exhaust system. I can imagine it's not the best way to do a dual exhaust system. I mean, I wouldn't like to go over a speed hump with it, but there you go. It's an interesting way, certainly. Anyways, Fairlady Z overall, pretty decent car to drive, to be perfectly honest with you. A little bit on the slidey side, kind of reminds me of the E-Type a little bit. It's 2 minutes past 9. It is indeed, so I take it you're in the same time zone, which is cool. I like it when people are in the same time zone, because I'm sure for, I think for like America, it's like 3 PM at this point, so yeah. I do hate being sort of in front when it comes to time zones sometimes, because it really disadvantages me for thingy, especially considering I have a bunch of American and Canadian friends. It's sort of like, yeah, I'd love to stay up, but it's like 3 AM. I need to go to bed. But I guess that's just one thing. Anyways, last lap of Maple Valley Mini. Admittedly, I have just completely decimated the competition. To be fair, I don't think the competition was particularly quick. I think there is just a stock Fairlady in this race. So, man, I'm driving German whip, blacked out windows, leaning back. But this isn't a German whip, it's a Japanese whip. It's a, yeah, it is a weeaboo. That's what this car is. It's a weeaboo whip. See man driving a weeaboo. I don't know. I don't really make the same. Doesn't really have the same ring to it now, does it? Anyways, as we are, makes an interesting noise if you switch between cameras. Anyways, there we go. We are across the line, and indeed, okay. So the slowest thing in this is the 2000 GT. I didn't actually check how much that car was. Hey, we've reached level 15, which means we have got a 35% on production cars, and Porsche sent us a 1982 Porsche 911 Turbo. Awesome. I will take a 1982 Porsche 911 Turbo. And speaking of Porsches, we get £6 for finishing the Sports Car Classic, and for finishing said Sports Car Classic, we will not be receiving that. That's the car that we received for leveling up. However, we will be receiving this. Here comes the money. We will be receiving my personal favourite Porsche, the 1973 911 Carrera RS, which is pretty cool. We can also now compete in regional championships, and we have also, not that, I didn't select that. We have also opened up a couple more races here, or more specifically one race, the Free Breathing Challenge. Anyway, friends, that's it for today's episode of the Forza Motorsport 2 Let's Play. I do hope you've enjoyed. In the next episode, we'll be taking a look at another event. I'm not quite sure what yet, but we'll see. Anyways, friends, thank you all very much for watching. My name's been The Real Emile, and until next time, farewell.